Okay, we'll give it a shot. First chorale, harmonic analysis, chorale Aus Meines Herzens Grunde. And apologies for my German, which is practically non-existent. Also apologies for my squeaking chair, which makes horrible noises. Anyway, let's get cracking. Okay, key of G major. Let's see the first phrase, the first cadence. Okay, straightforward. Pretty straightforward. We have chord, that's chord, definitely chord 1. Okay, here, come on. Chord 1, G major, so chord 1, that's chord 4. That's chord 4 in first inversion. Okay, let's indicate inversion for B. First inversion. This is a passing note. That's a passing note. It's a passing 7. So will I indicate that as chord 4, 7? No, I don't think I need to. It is a 7, it's passing. Then, so I don't think I need to call that chord 4, 7. Then we have chord 5, B, in first inversion. Chord 1, that's chord 1. Okay, now what do I have there? What do I have there? Right there on the second beat. Now it would appear, you see, that I have a B minor on the first quaver of beat 2. What is B, D, F sharp? B, D, F sharp, and another D here. So it's a B minor chord in the first quaver, 3 in first inversion. 3, B in first inversion. And then on the second quaver, thanks to the B dropping, it becomes just chord 5 there. Chord 5. Right? So D, D, Re, Fa, La, yeah. Chord 5. But I mean, do I want to analyze that first quaver as a chord, or would I just consider that 6, 5 of the D chord? To me, it makes more sense. But look, I'll just annotate them both. Do you see? And then you make up your own mind. I think that I could analyze just the whole of beat 2, just as chord 5 with a 6, 5 there. With a 6, 5 there. Which I don't think is even a suspension, because, I mean, yeah, it's a note which is held and then it drops down by step, but it's not a suspension, because a suspension is a dissonance resolving, whereas 6 is a consonance. So just that. That's both possibilities. Either you analyze the first quaver as 3B and the second quaver as chord 5, or you analyze the whole of beat 2 as just chord 5, with the figuring then 6, 5 there for the soprano. Okay. Now, and then what do I have? This 5 chord actually goes to 6. Goes to 6. Da da da. Which some people, would call it a deceptive cadence, but it's not really at a cadence point, or a deceptive resolution. I wouldn't call it a cadence because it's not at a cadence point. But anyway, potato, just words. Okay, so next bar I have chord 4 here. Chord 4. Okay, now that's a couple of lower auxiliaries. That's a couple of lower auxiliary notes. Now, while they do form a G major right there, They do form a G major in the second quaver in the three upper voices, in tenor, alto, and soprano. I don't want to analyze that as a separate chord. Yes, it forms a G major in the upper structure against that C note in the bass. I don't want to analyze that as a G chord. This is just a lower auxiliary, another lower auxiliary. Yes, it makes a harmonic sound there, but I'm not going to analyze that as some sort of G. No, that's just well, you could say that's a lower auxiliary chord, you know, but I'm not going to give it a Roman numeral label. I'm not going to give it a Roman numeral label. I'm just going to circle it, show it, lower auxiliary, but I'm not going to give it a chord label. Now, what happens there? What happens there at the beginning, on beat 2? Now that's cute. That's cute. As the chord returns, as the two lower auxiliary return to being a C major chord, the chord 4, look what happens to the bass. The bass drops to B, forms a nice dissonance. Whoa, like there. That's a flat 9, that's a minor 9. And it's dissonant on the beat. Let's see if I can play it. So I have that B on the beat against C and E. And that's marvelous. So, well, that turns out to be then chord 4. D. 4D with the 7th in the bass, which, by the way, behaves like a 7th is expected to do, drops by step in the next quaver. So, chord 4D in that quaver, followed by, what do I have? Fa, La, Do. Fa diesis, La, Do. Right? So I have chord 7 there. I'll put it, I have no room there, I'll put it right there, chord 7. That's chord 7 in first inversion, passing between these two notes. So it's used to, chord 7 in first inversion, used to harmonize the supertonic note in the bass. Textbook. Chord 7 pretty much behaving like chord 5 because it goes to chord 1. So 7 functioning as 5, going to chord 1, ultimately cadencing on 5. Yeah. Lovely contrary motion there between bass and tenor, parallel thirds here. So I think I played that already. Let's play that again. Let's see. My sight reading is just as bad as my German, so dissonance. Okay. All right. Next. Let's see if I can read that. Next phrase, next cadence. All right. Now I have lovely parallel tenths between bass and tenor. Look what happens between tenor and alto. It's parallel fourths, which is okay. Okay, just once more. Let's see. From the G. analysis. Right, that's chord 1. This is chord 5B, 5 in first inversion. Yeah, re, fa, la. Re, fa, la. 5 in first inversion. Nice spacing between the bass and the tenor. Nice wide spacing. Chord, okay, that chord 5 is going to chord 6, 6, 7, because I have an E. Mi, sol, si, re. Yeah, chord 6 with a 7th. The 7th, which is prepared in the previous chord, then it behaves like a 7 is expected to behave, then drops. So, what comes after this chord 6? I have fa diesis, la, do. I have chord 7. That's chord 7 again. 7 in first inversion. Let's see, just to make sure. Yeah. Fa diesis, la, and do twice. Okay. Yeah, that's chord 7 in first inversion. Going to chord 1 in first inversion. Yes, that's sol, si, re. Yeah. By the way, I'm doing solfeggio in Italian. It comes more natural to me. Italian and fixed do, as we do. Right. So again, the supertonic note in the bass is harmonized by chord 7 in first inversion to pass from the tonic note to the mediant. That's textbook again. Chord 7 functioning as 5, by the way. Functioning as 5, because it goes to 1 again, and that's the 7th of the 5 chord function behaving as a 7th is expected to behave, dropping by step. Next, chord 1B. That goes to, that looks like chord 2, A minor, la, do, mi, sol, A minor 7. So that's chord 2, 7 in first inversion, yes. First inversion. Yes, the 7 again is here, is still ringing in the alto from the previous beat. Prepared, resolves. The next chord goes from being the 7th to the 3rd. Again, textbook. So what do I have here? I have chord 5. Chord 5 with a passing 7. Okay, I'll put it here. I'll put it here in this case with a passing 7, and that's a leading note which doesn't resolve, a leading note in the middle of the texture which drops to the 5th of the tonic chord. Again, we find that often. We find that often. An inactive leading note. Passing 7, which drops to the 3rd of the next chord. So this chord 1. And again, this is a textbook type of cadence and resolution, which I recommend people to transpose in a few keys. Okay, let's see if I can read the next phrase, cadence. My sight reading is what it is. Nice ligatures in the alto right there. Okay, let's see what happens. So, 1. The next phrase also starts with chord 1. Da 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 da. Alto does da 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 da. Nice bit of movement for the alto also. Chord 1, there's a passing 7. There's a passing 7. Will I put it there? Yes, I will put it there. But look, sure, let's go back to the beginning. If I put it there, I'm also going to put it here. Okay? Let's be fair. All right, let's go back. This is only for me. I'm doing this for me. Just so that I can watch it in 20 years' time and laugh. Okay. One with a 7, passing 7. What do I have here? La, do, mi. La, do, twice, mi, and nothing else. So it's chord 2. That's an A minor. It's chord 2 in root position. It's chord 2 in root position. I think it's worth looking at the voice leading or part writing here, because what we have is 2 consecutive chords in root position. We have 2 consecutive triads in root position here. Okay, we passing note still. 2 consecutive triads in root position, and there's they represent a danger for parallels when you're doing exercises. When you have 2 adjacent chords like 1, 2, 4, and 5, that kind of movement, and they're both in root position. Of course, there's gonna be octaves and fifths lurking, just waiting there to be to be paralleled, right? So I think it's a good idea to have a look, you see, in at how the voice leading, how the voices in the chords are organized, so to avoid parallels when you have, 2 adjacent chords by step in root position. So I have where is the fifth and where is the octave? First of all, okay, this is the fifth. That's the fifth, you see, G and D. And how is that avoided? Contrary motion, right? Contrary motion. So that's 1 bullet dodged. That's 1 bullet dodged. Where is then the octave? Well, the octave is here between the bass and the alto. How's that other bullet dodged? Okay, like again, there. Contrary motion. 1 voice goes down, the other voice goes up. So this is the fifth, and its treble has been avoided by contrary motion. And this is the octave. Treble has been avoided by contrary motion. That's how a double bullet has been dodged. In fact, look, I have the third, the compound third, the 10th, call it what you want, and that goes in parallel. That goes in parallel, and there was no problem. Good. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, is there a chord occurring on the second quaver here? Yes, there is, I think. What do I have? Fa, la, do, twice. So that's chord 7. That's chord 7 in the second quiver. Will I analyze it? I think I will, because it goes to 1. It goes to 1B here. It goes to 1. So I will do a chord 7 here on the second quiver. Fa diesis, la, and do twice. Yeah. Next, chord 1. Chord 1. B. Do I see anything strange? Hang on a second now. Do I see anything strange? Oh well, okay, something to note. Okay, there's a fifth here, there's a fifth there. However, this is a diminished fifth, and it's not a parallel. It's not a parallel. It's perfect fifths that we must be careful of. A diminished fifth to a perfect fifth is perfectly fine. It is fine. Okay. Next. Lower auxiliary note, nothing strange, just a decoration. That's a lower auxiliary. Lower auxiliary. Then, lower auxiliary, and look, so nice. And okay, chord 1B again in first inversion. Chord 1 in first inversion. Okay, what I have here? I have an upper auxiliary, and this appears to be a passing note. Passing note. Does anything happen at that point? Does anything happen? Does that result into some kind of harmony that I could analyze? Let's see. I'm coming from no, so not really. That second quiver of that beat, the second quiver of the beat is a bit of a dissonant moment, because I have that between bass and tenor. I have that between bass and alto. It is a dissonant moment. Then with that on top, it's a dissonant moment, but yeah. Then it goes back to being everybody happy and everybody agreeable on beat 2. so yeah, okay, it's just two non-chord tones. Two non-chord tones. I have an upper auxiliary there, and I have a passing note there. That's all. So on B2, then we go back to chord 1 again. 1 in first inversion, 1B. B in first inversion again. And the second quiver here, something happens. I have a D, so I have some chord. Okay, that's chord 5, 7. That's the 7 in second inversion, C, because there's the A there, and a second inversion dominant chord passing to harmonize the supertonic note between first inversion and root position tonic chord. Again, that's a textbook harmonization, and it's worth taking that. And look at the voice leading and possibly transpose it in a few keys to get a few tools in the toolbox when it comes to do exercises then. And I might do that separately, but at the end of the day, what you have is soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and then the rest is written. The D is here in the tenor. You take all that and you transpose it in a few keys, and that's how you learn. Last chord is 5. Yeah, that's it. 5. chord 5. Let me see if there's anything strange that I missed. No. Lovely parallel compound thirds between the bass and the soprano. Okay, let's carry on. All right, next phrase and cadence. Again, let's see if I can manage with my ghastly sight reading. Okay, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. There's one or two interesting moments. Let me see if I can play again. Nice. 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 Cadencing on the subdominant. Cadencing on the subdominant, the harbinger of things to end. Cadencing on the subdominant by using the tonic chord with a minor 7. Anyway, one thing at a time. Okay, so the phrase starts with chord 6. Phrase starts with chord 6. That's also chord 6. And look, all that's happening is that the third goes to the fifth goes to the third. But that's in the tune, the G going to the B. So the B went to the G in the tenor. Okay, so what's happening next? That looks like a B minor chord, 6, 3. 6, 3. Okay, that's 3 in first inversion, right? So B, lowercase b. Does anything else happen on the second quaver here? Well, yeah, that second quaver makes the chord become chord, I'll do it down here, chord 1. 1 in second inversion with the fifth in the bass here. Sol, Si twice, Re. Once again, my solfeggio is in Italian. It's easier for me. I will analyze that second quaver as chord 1 in second inversion. That fifth in the bass is... That chord is approached by keeping that note in the bass. Then the second inversion is quit by step. I don't see anything wrong with that. And if there's anything wrong, please let me know, because I am only insignificant. Chord 2. That is chord 2 in first inversion, yeah? La, Do twice, Mi. Yeah, that's a... See, that's not a passing note. I mean, melodically, you see it as a passing note, but it does form a chord. It does create a chord, which makes sense. Right. But it fills the gap of a third. But I wouldn't call it a passing note, because a passing note is a non-chord tone, isn't it? Anyway, on the second quaver of B2, chord 1, C in second inversion. And on the last beat, I have chord 2 in first inversion. Okay. Going to... All right. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. You'd be tempted to see some kind of a D chord, but no, that's actually chord 1. That was the nice things that I heard. That's a 9/8 appoggiatura. Okay, let me do that 9 a little better. That's a nice 9/8 appoggiatura of chord 1 in first inversion here. Prepared appoggiatura, because that same note is sounded in the previous chord as a chord tone. So that A belongs to the chord. If it was tied, it would have been a suspension. That's not tied, it's sounded again, and it's a prepared appoggiatura. 9/8. Ta-da! 9/8 in relation to the root of the chord. The chord is in first inversion. The chord is in first inversion, so the figuring would be different. The figuring would be 7/6, right? If I was to figure that. But in relation to the root of the chord, it's a 9/8 appoggiatura, right? Let me sound it again. And then, and then the interest in the alto voice is maintained because that G here becomes a suspension, becomes a 4/3 suspension. Now, what's this C? Does that mean anything? That's C in the bass, or is it just a simple passing note? Let me see. Let me play just the bar. No, it's a passing note. It's just a passing note in the bass. Chord 1 with a 9/8 appoggiatura. This is beat 2. So on beat 2, that's still chord 1. That's still chord 1B. And this on beat 2. That's simply a passing note. That's a passing note in the bass. And then here's chord 5. Yeah, with a 4/3 suspension between the two quavers. Preparation, suspension, resolution. Goes to chord 1. That's a passing note. That's a passing note. Goes to chord 1. 1 in first inversion on the second beat. And then, awesome moment, bam! The F natural, the flattened 7, the minor 7 chord. So chord 1, the tonic chord with a flattened 7, in this case F natural, which functions as 5/7 of 4, and in fact cadence onto 4. Cadence onto 4. Let me check if I forgot. Speaking of functions, let me see if I forgot to label a few 7 chords. I don't think so. Yeah, these 7 chords function as 7. No, these 7 chords function as 5. These 7 chords function as 5. I don't think I forgot anything else. Okay, back here. Bam. So, yeah, the tonic chord with a flattened 7 functioning as 5/7 of the subdominant of 4. And in fact, cadence on 4. Now I can see already there's gonna be a few things happening there. Whoa, let's see if I can play that. Just the bar before the cadence chord. The bar before the cadence chord is very rich. Look what happens in the bass. That was bass and tenor. In the bass and tenor. Now let's bring the alto and the soprano as well. Let's see, I'm just gonna sound the alto. I'm gonna play the alto on the beat. I know it's tied, so. Oh, that. The alto forms a ninth with the bass, and it's parallel 9, and now it's in agreement. That's a 7th with the bass, and now it's a compound octave. Let me just play that bar just once more. Let's analyze that. It's been diatonic all along, by the way. It's been diatonic all along, except for just this one flat 7 chord that we found in the previous phrase, resolving on the subdominant. It's all been diatonic. If I'm not mistaken. If I am, let me know. Okay, 1. Now that's chord 5B. 5B. Passing 7. Okay, let's put a 7 there. Passing 7. Then I have chord 1, and look again, there is a 9-8, but this time is a suspension. 9-8. This time is a suspension because the A is held. Okay, next. Fa, La, Do twice. Fa, La, Do twice. Fa diesis, La in the bass, and then Do twice. So that's chord 7, B, 7 in first inversion. 7 in first inversion used to pass between chord 1 in root position and chord 1 in first inversion. So again, text, book type of thing, which is worth to extract, look at the voice leading, and transpose in a few keys, and build up a toolbox. Build up your toolbox. On B. 7B functioning as 5. Function as 5. Look, the 7th of 5 would behave as a 7th. Okay, now 1B, 1 in first inversion, 1 in root position. Just change the bass note, and it goes to chord 5. Everything is nice and dandy. And now duck and cover. Okay, that's the passing 7. Look how many times we encounter the passing 7. Okay. Let's do this. Chord 6. Chord 6 with a 9 suspension. Chord 6 with a 9 suspension. Suspension against the bass, it's a 9. Yeah, and against the soprano as well. Against the soprano, it's just 2. You see, it forms a dissonance. That F sharp forms a dissonance with the bass, 9, also with the soprano, 2, right? It resolves with the soprano, but look what happened with the bass. The bass here, it's another 9. It's another 9, you see? Now, so that's still chord 6, 7, D, because the 7 is in the bass now. That's E minor, Mi, Sol, another Mi, and the Mi, Sol, Si, yeah, Re in the bass. So chord 6, 7 in third inversion with the 7th in the bass, passing. Well, moving by, passing. Moving by step. And this is what gives it spice and crunch. A little bit of crispy feeling. It's those parallel 9s. So this dissonance resolves with the soprano, but it keeps being dissonant with the bass because they're moving in parallel. Right, O. Then, what do I have here? Do, Mi, Sol. So that's just chord 4. That's just chord 4. That is just chord 4. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now what happens? There is a hint at a sequence there, you see? That chord, 7th in the bass, that chord, and you would assume, okay, it's gonna do a sequence, 7th in the bass, but no, because the chord changes on top. Well, the chord changes on top. But now, so look, there's 3 notes there. There's 3 notes there. Bam. Which I can't deny them. I can't deny. They form, they're chord 7. Fa diesis, La, Do. I can't deny those notes. That's chord 7. Going to 1 here. Going to chord 1. That's 7, 1. 7 functioning as 5, 1. And I can't deny that. I can't deny that sound in the tenor, alto, and soprano. I can't deny that. That being the bass. That being the bass is completely it's completely dissonant with the C in the tenor. It's okay with the F sharp in the alto. It's quite dissonant, it's 7th. It's quite dissonant with the A in the soprano. Do you see? And the whole lot is that second quaver. That second quaver of beat 2 is a dissonant moment. So, what's my analysis going to be? I have a hard time labeling this note. Is it a passing note? Well, a passing note goes to a consonance, right? And that in the next beat is not a consonant, that's an appoggiatura, right? So, anyway, that's chord 1. That's chord 1 with a 2, 1 appoggiatura in the bass. So this is also dissonance. That's also dissonant, but that's, I can label that easily as chord 1 with a 2, 1 appoggiatura. What am I going to label the second quaver of beat 2? I think I'm just going to analyze that as chord 7, going to 1. So 4, also 4, 7, follow the circle of fifths. 4 is at the very end of the circle of fifths, jumping to the very top of the circle of fifths. That makes sense harmonically. That dissonance in the bass just follows the line, is justified by the line. Is justified by a line in the bass going by step, falling down by step, and I'm just gonna label that a discord. And it's perfectly okay to have two consecutive non-chord tones, justified by a downward stepwise motion of the bass line. These are two consecutive discords. I have a name for this one. It's an appoggiatura. I haven't got a name for this one. If you have one, please do let me know. And then chord 5, cadencing on chord 5. Okay, last phrase and cadence, going home. Let's see what happens. Looks and sounds straightforward enough. Analysis. Chord 1. Chord 5. That's a 5 with a 4-3 in the bass. See, it becomes 5B there on the second beat. So that's a 4-3 suspension in the bass. Da, da. 4-3 suspension in the bass. Okay, next is chord 4, C major. Do, mi, sol. Yeah, that's chord 4. First inversion. This is a lower auxiliary. Nothing strange. Where is that going? That's C drops to B. Now that becomes chord 6. Is that right? Mi, sol, si. Mi twice. Sol, si. That's chord 6. Yeah? That's E minor. That's an E minor chord. Chord 6. Passing 7 in the bass. How many times did we see that? Passing 7. I'm going to put the 7 there. How many times did we see that? Okay, that looks like another cadence that could be taken and transposed in a few keys for exercise. This is chord 2-7 in first inversion. 2-7 in first inversion. I have A, C, the E is here, still ringing, and then I have the G, the 7th here, still ringing from the previous beat. Okay, so that's A minor 7, the 7 prepared and resolved. That's the leading note. Chord 5, passing 7 in the tenor, falling to the 3rd of the tonic chord, inactive, leading note, doesn't resolve to the tonic, but actually drops to the 5th of the chord, and the supertonic drops to the tonic. This should be taken and transposed in a few keys. That's that. Yeah, okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. That's it. I am going to save and print this now, and I'm going to upload the video. And if I missed anything, please do let me know, and let's encourage fruitful, productive discussions.